A land-grant university, it's a concept that really was developed in the 1850s and with the passage of the Morrill Act in 1862 that was signed by Abraham Lincoln. It is the first public higher education in the history of mankind, and it changed the world. And so how do you pay for all this during the midst of this terrible Civil War? Well, Lincoln paid for it with land. The question then becomes, where did the land come from and whose land was it? And the land for South Dakota State was made available in 1887 with the passage of the Dawes Act. And so the federal government forced the Lakota tribes onto 5 reservations, and then their land was then distributed to homesteaders. The federal government designated those 120,000 acres to be the financial underpinning for its land-grant university. My solution came from my own knowledge and recognition that South Dakota State was still benefiting from the original land-grant land that had been granted to it. And so I proposed to take the annual resources from that land-grant land and dedicate it to student success for American Indian students.
So the WOKINI Initiative is SDSU's collaborative and holistic framework for supporting American Indian student success and Indigenous nation building.
And from those 2 pillars, then we've developed 5 big strategies. And the first is to make a land acknowledgement, which we did for the first time in the university's history at our last commencement. The second one is to dedicate a flow of resources from our land-grant land to benefit American Indian students. The third is to build an American Indian Student Center in the heart of campus.
American Indian Student Center is the building that our students can go to speak to their academic advisor, their retention advisor, and go seek out all of the cultural programming that we offer there.
The fourth one was to provide scholarships for students, a meaningful scholarship, so they're large and they're renewable. The fifth thing is to, as a campus community, to provide opportunities for our faculty and staff to really understand and know what the culture and the history and the challenges are for the Lakota and Dakota people in our state.
Transforming our campus really goes back to educating our campus. We're in the business of education, and so our staff and faculty need an education.
If we can't get the fifth one, the rest won't matter. We won't be successful unless we change as an institution.
We have to stop using the deficit model when we talk about our American Indian students and look to what's working, build on our strengths, have that partnership and collaborations with our tribal communities. President Dunn established our President's WOKINI Advisory Council, which has tribal government leaders and academic leaders from each of our tribal communities, because we need that voice and we need their guidance.
And part of this WOKINI initiative is to have better partnerships with the tribal communities. So while our campus are housing their students, their tribal community members, we're also reaching out and ensuring that we can help with economic development, workforce development, and part of that is placing many of the students across campus that are American Indian students back in the tribal communities with internships and job placements.
There's just no more excuse to not do a better job serving these people. I believe personally that it's immoral to promise that you will serve all, but then ignore that promise or not even acknowledge the responsibility. This is an important job, and I can't wait till thousands of young people have gone through this program and benefited from it, because we will have changed the world.